Alright, so we got a memory card, some wrapping wire out here, and you've probably read the title of this video, but I want to give a warning real quick. This is not going to be a professional install by any means. This is my first time doing a PS2 Modchip, and like every PS2 Modchip install you see out there, it looks so clean. This is not that. This is not that at all. I've just wired everything in, used different lengths of wire and all that. But I'll go ahead and show you, begrudgingly. Right here, we got our PS2 Slim. This is a 77001 model, specifically the GH-051-02 board. The nice thing about this chip, I've never installed one of these before. This is the first time ever installing a PS2 mod chip. But this is a Modbo 4. Have not tried it yet or anything. Nice thing about this, though, is that at least on the Slim, everything is on one side of the board, so you don't have to wrap things around the other side or whatever. But I'll kind of show you all what I did. So as you can see, like, it is hard for me to do those, like, straight lines down there, man. So what I do is I, like, solder and kind of wrap it around a bit. And I've done that with other projects, and it's worked fine. Hopefully the PS2 won't be all too finicky. But we got the chip right there, if you all can see that. Then I don't remember what point this is, but just got one of the lone points right here. Didn't have to do all too much. One of the harder parts is just right under one of the chips here. There's a bunch of little points that you have to hit. Was able to get those, honestly, pretty without too much trouble, to be honest. I was surprised I didn't have too much trouble getting them. I just had to go slow. It was a bit tedious, but honestly, this is actually not the hardest modding project I've taken on. I know this is one of the harder Modchip installs, but I'd say probably the hardest thing I've done is still that N64 RGB board from, I think, Tim Worthington or something. 3v3 is right there, ground's there. Don't remember, I think that's the reset right there. And then here's a tip for you all if you're doing this. So first off, every PS2 model is different, every chip is different. It is so annoying, just incredibly annoying. There's a bunch of little through holes right here that you have to solder to. And trust me, I'm just using some, small enough solder, and I'm using Kynar wire, which is 30 gauge, so 30 AWG. And I was thinking, my logic was like, okay, I'll just put the wire in there a little bit, and then solder it into the hole, and that's it. Those holes are so small that 30 gauge wire doesn't put in, so won't go in properly. So what I had to do on those points is I had to actually, I saw a video on this, but I had to get an X-Acto knife and just gently scrape like the top layer of those circular points. Just enough so that it got shiny. Then once it got shiny, I was able to tin them properly, and I was able to get all the wires soldered onto it. I kind of just nudged the wires a little bit as well too, and everything seems to be staying there, so everything looks, to me, even though it's not the cleanest job, it looks like it's all wired in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this up because I don't want it to directly touch a metal shielding, but I'm going to tape this all up right here, and let's see how this goes. I'll also tape down some of these wires, just so you know they're not going through any of these holes. And I don't really have a way of benching this, unfortunately, like the 360, since this is just a mod chip. Really its main purpose is to play copied games and backed up games, so I really have to put the system almost completely together, if not just totally put it back together in order to test this properly. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so hey, look, we hid some of the cable mess. Actually, what I'm doing with this is, the reason why I'm using the electrical tape here is just kind of, one, to, isolate the chip and insulate it, but also the other thing is I just don't want any of these wires to go over any of these hole paths. That way I'm holding them in. But so far it looks like all the points are still holding well enough, and the nice thing is with a mod chip compared to a Reset Glitch Hack install, for example, is Reset Glitch Hack, it's dependent on so many different things since it's a timing glitch on the 360, in case you aren't aware of that. With a mod chip, it's pretty much 0 or 1. It's either does it work or does it not work. There's different things, like sometimes, I don't know, maybe the disk drive will go crazy, maybe it won't spin a disk, but the point is it either works or it doesn't. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Alright, so very good news. I put the whole thing together. I just need to put the 6 screws at the bottom, but I at least have it there. Everything's inside. And I tried it out, and it actually does work. I'm very happy with that, so I'll give you a rundown. So that also means, first time install, everything worked on there. Open it up, installed it, close it up, it's working fine. But we do have power, so I'll go ahead and turn this on. And if you look at the screen here, turn the PS2 on, and we get the Matrix logo right there. Because the Modbo, completely forgot about this, the Modbo is a essentially a clone matrix chip. So we got that right here, just regular menu. And I'll go ahead and show you all. So first off, it is a NTSC-U PlayStation 2. So first game I tried out, logically my all-time favorite game, Grand Theft Auto 3. Decided to give that a shot. Wait for this to go ahead and pop in. Eventually. There we go. And also says it has Matrix and it has Infinity 1.93 on it. So this is running in firmware Infinity like 1.93. As you can see, that works just fine. So go ahead, eject the disc, take this out, and grab an original right here. Now, this is an imported game. This is Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, which is a Japanese game. So logically, this should not work on a PS2. But we're going to go ahead and close it up, pop it in. And I'm very impressed at how fast this thing boots up as well, too. So check this out. There we go. Just like that, it booted up. So really no issues with this. I've been very happy with it so far, just with the few games that I've tried. So as you can see, that boots up as well too. No issues there. Again, super excited for this, even though I'm a little bit tired, so I don't sound too excited. Just really excited mostly that I was able to successfully mod a PS2, which has always been kind of a scary type thing, almost a bit of an intimidating experience for me. As you can see, Final Mix shows up right there. It's all in Japanese. So I'll restart the PS2 again, take this out, and of course it wouldn't be a mod chip if we couldn't play. Well, technically it could. Either way, we want to play burn games with this mod chip, so here's my official copy of Hunter the Reckoning. Got my burn disc right there. Close this thing up. Wait a few seconds. That disappears. Again, this is just like a few seconds of boot time. This is great. It's not the mod chip that's really doing that, though. It's just because the PS2 is in pretty solid shape. Wait for this. There we go. Hunter boots up. The only other thing I've noticed on here, let me go ahead and turn this off for now. I'll turn it back on, is that PS1 games take a good amount of time to boot up. So, got a burn copy of Mega Man 8 right there, got my original there. Go ahead, close that, pop it in. So we got that. Now you might say it doesn't take all too much time, and I think the reason why it seems like it takes a while is because it doesn't actually play the PS1 boot up sound. Like, it doesn't show the BIOS or the boot up or anything. It just stays at this screen right here. So, you gotta wait a bit, dark screen, dark screen, dark screen. So I just cut it short. That was actually the first failure right there because I noticed it just did not boot up at all. But what I'll do is boot up the console, pop the disc in, go ahead, close it, wait for it to boot. So we're coming right here, and it just disappeared. But let's wait for this to actually turn on. Okay. I hear the laser going. There we go. So as you can see, that works as well. So here's another thing with this. Apparently, since this has the mod chip in it, I have to hold down the triangle circle buttons and turn on the console. And if I do that, still get the matrix on boot, and there we go. We get a few options right here. So I'll just show you all, all the stuff. There's Ps2 Screen Fix, which it was just by default set to color, but you can change it around to PAL, NTSC, PAL 60, VGA, turn it off. I guess that's just if you want to, like if you're having incompatibility and such with games. I'm imagining if you're playing a PAL game on an NTSC system or vice versa. Psx Screen Fix, I have no idea what that is, honestly. Psx Multidisc, I did enable that just because I want to play multi-disc PS1 games. MC16 Patch, this was off by default and I have no idea what that is. ATAD Auto Patch, don't know what that is either. Macrovision Fix, that was an old video protection that would just make it hard to, copy video and such, or like rip video. So that's on by default. Green Fix is off. DVD video region 8. So this mod chip actually makes the console region free if you want to watch DVDs on it. So I now have a region free PS2, which is nice. DVD 9 DL support, so that's for dual layer discs. I did turn that on and I saved it. Boot mode, you can do auto, fast, IN, FMAN, INFMAN, maybe? Okay. Dev 1, Dev 2, DVD video, I'm assuming. Auto. I just kept on auto. Pad detect time is 10 and boot logo on. So that's it. And then all you have to do, you don't even need a, because it all saves to the mod chip, which is internal in the system, obviously. But I was able to confirm this. Really, all you have to do to save your settings, you just press the start button. And it says, settings saved, press reset. So you just reset the console. Matrix comes up, and your settings are saved in there. So, pretty neat so far. Good stuff. Again, I'm definitely happy I was able to install this. When it came right down to it, it seemed more intimidating than what it was, but as I said, this is surprisingly not the hardest thing I've installed in the system. So, I have one more chip. I got it. Where the hell is it? So, I have one more chip right here, and I'm probably going to throw this in one of my Phat PS2s just so I could also have a hard-modded Phat. I actually have a Slim with a mod chip, and it's a 90,000 series, which means it doesn't take free McBoot. But now I have a hard-modded Slim that also does free McBoot that I've done myself. So, yeah, the last thing is I just want to try a Phat on my own, but we have this to test it out with. So anyways, this is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like very much would be appreciated. If you absolutely hated it, a dislike's fine as well, too.